Now to our other conversation this evening, let's talk about women inclusion in President Tinubu's administration. The president, during his inaugural speech, promised to feature women and youth prominently in his administration. He raised the hopes of Nigerian women during his campaign as he promised to work with the National Assembly to pass a law to increase women's position in government by 35% if elected. The big question is, has Mr. President fulfilled this promise? Joining me live from our Abuja studio is Honorable Commissioner representing Enugu State at the Federal Character Commission, Gineka Torp. Thank you for joining us on the program, Princess.
Thank you, too.
All right, so let's begin with how inclusive Mr. President's administration has been for women, because that's part of the optimism you shared with me the last time we spoke on Inauguration Day. The president did promise during his campaign to push for legislation to increase women's participation in government to at least 35%. According to your party's campaign document, the legislation will mandate the federal executive to reserve a minimum number of senior positions for women. But with the composition that we have in Mr. President's cabinet, that figure may be around 19% thereabout. Are you in any way disappointed?
Well, I will say I'm disappointed. I've been on this issue of women inclusion for a long time, and I may want to digress a bit. If we have 19% from the president, you can be rest assured that we'll still get 35%. Because I'm still bold to say that this is a president that has, he has a record of women inclusion. But I think he's settling the part of the youth now, and I know we still have a lot of opportunities there for women coming on board. For Southeast, I think we have 70% already. So for him to have done that to women in the Southeast, you can be rest assured that he's going to touch with the forthcoming positions, appointments that are coming on board. He will definitely look into that part. But I want to say thumbs up to the youth. You have been given what you want. You cannot speak about the women without talking about the youth. So you've been settled. Now women are also coming in large number. Still, I'm bold to say that the president that I supported through Igbokwenu Fashiwaju Shetima is still going to look into the women, and he's still going to do what he's known for, So I'm rest assured that I can tell you I'm not afraid. He's still going to do that. He has done it in the Southeast. He's still going to do more in other parts of this country.
The closest we've had to the 35% affirmative action for women was when Goodluck Jonathan achieved, I think, 31% representation in 2011. Is that something you think this administration can match in 4 years?
I said before, I have no doubt that he's going to do all that is needful when it comes to women. There's no fear about that. Even you look at the ministers, at least we have strong women there. The only thing why I said I'm going to digress a bit is not just women inclusion, but women with competency. We should look into that part. We want those, even if we're 19%, I will have strong 19% that are competent, that do the needful, that carry other women along. Then we shouldn't leave the job for only the president. So it's not all about president, 35%. Before we can get that, we, the women, need to affirm ourselves. So if you have 19%, then we're good to go. More will definitely come, so I have no fear. He's going to do it.
You are Enugu's commissioner in the Federal Character Commission. I've had a couple of Ohanese Indigo executives on the program, and they have complained that the region is still largely sidelined with the appointments of only 5 ministers from the Southeast. They describe that as unfair and unjust. Do you share the same concern?
Well, for me, prior to the emergence of our president, I spoke for Igbos, yes. But I think certain things that happen right now is just a message to the Igbos. We need to begin to learn how to play this politics. You can't put your eggs in one basket, and when the basket fails to hold the eggs, you start complaining. We have 5. Those 5 should do what is needed. They should carry each other along first. For me, I know people may think I don't speak straight. No, I do. The president is still in the right direction. It's a way to tell the Igbos when next we are playing politics, you don't just put everything in one place. Try to balance it such that you know that this is politics and you need something for yourself. So for me, we've gotten the 5. It's not over yet. Other appointments are coming. But we should learn to do the right thing. You can't, work in zone A and be paid in zone B. Well, nevertheless, that will not fail to still remind our president that he remains the unifier that we know. Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his beautiful wife and amazing mother of all. We definitely see still the Igbos come on board because we will still work together as one. So however it is for me, I think it's too early to begin to agitate. Let's calm down. Let's negotiate. Let's dialogue. Let's remind our president that this is going to still remain an indivisible nation, Nigeria, and we need to command national loyalty. So at some extent, it can be equal, but equitable. Somehow, we should have that balance so that we have everyone smiling, just a bite of the apple for everyone. But for the Igbos, there's no need to complain. No. At that point when it was happening, when we spoke, we need to look at the right time to begin to fight for something. It will get to us, but it takes just a little time. But for now, our president, Igbos will still feel your vibes. I believe so. So many things are still coming on board. So I don't think it's time to agitate. It's too early. We need to support. When you support, you receive. Let's calm down. Many people used to call me, they say, Igbo Kwenu Fatiwaju Shetima, you were the first to come out to speak for the president. Why were you not appointed as a minister? I said, look, I did not come out to support him ab initio because of what it's going to be. I know that I will be compensated and my group will be compensated someday. But let's continue to support because whoever he has appointed in my state, Enugu State, it's for a reason. And I always respect the decision of the president. It is right.
I hear you.
And so for me, I think
I just
it's
want
not
to
time
find
to
out,
lay
if I can,
blame,
very quickly.
but to rather look for.
Allow me to butt in, Princess, is how many of APC members from the East share your optimism? Because in August, senators from the Southeast geopolitical zone did call on President Tinubu to appoint at least 2 additional ministers from their region to ensure fairness and justice. And their complaint is that, the Southeast region has the lowest ministerial representation. How are they being pacified, really? How united, within your party are these voices?
Well, for me, I've said it. It depends on how you bring about your submission. It's not by force. It's something we need to calm down, sit down, discuss and negotiate. There's no harm in having our rights. The statutory right has been given to us. The next thing is to request or beg or ask, appeal for this to be done. Not that if we do not, do the needful, then we expect everything or we expect what should be given to us. It depends on how we come about it. Of course, the election issues is sui generis. It's such that, based on its peculiarity. So we should understand that. It's just of its own kind. So when you want to attempt to do something positive around it, you must go the right path. It's not about agitation. It's about negotiation. It's about dialogue. You can see what has happened with the administration and NLC. There's dialogue. And in as much as it's going to be for the common persons, for everyone, then fine. But for me, sincerely, I think everybody, different scholars, they've come out to bring out their own opinion. But I'm also, I'm also subject to my own opinion. For me, I think we have gotten to the stage in Nigeria when we need the results. Whatever it takes this president that we have supported to give us a result in this country, whatever is the result we are looking at. We don't want anybody to say, oh, because we were pushed or we were propelled to do this, so we couldn't achieve this. Whatever it takes the president at this stage that we are in Nigeria to give us the result that we see in him coming, because I still trust that this president will give us what we think. He will lead us to that destination of choice. We should continue to support. Then when we have areas where there are some level of imbalance, it's all about discussion, it's all about negotiation. We talk about it, not agitating when you decided that this is where you belong. and things go the other side, you need to calm down and discuss it. And this president, I think, is one president that has the listening ear. He has been listening, and he has best persons around him to lead him aright.
All right. I understand the politics of election that you made reference to earlier, the fact that you don't reap where you did not sow. But there are some who also hold the opinion that this administration has a huge opportunity to unite the nation better. And perhaps it's also your party's opportunity to pacify the Southeast and reach out more in that region. Do you subscribe to that school of thought?
To that, we're saying the same thing. Like I just said before, I said even when we're campaigning for the president, we said that he's a unifier. He remains a unifier. Sometimes somebody can do something and want to watch your reaction, you know. And since I thank God the Igbos are not really, because I've been all out speaking to the Igbos, it's not a time to fight. It's a time to negotiate. And I can tell you, the appointments are still coming, and the Igbos will be remembered. At least we can attest to the fact that some areas are also being covered. Like we have the Chief of Naval Staff, he's from Enugu State. It has never happened for some time. So it's a thing to also thank God for. And we should learn to thank one for one before we receive another. So for now, we should just keep supporting. You know, keep showing up and keep supporting. This is a president that God has given this position. And all we need is to support him. We don't need anything. He's saddled with so much responsibilities. And all our own part is to give him his support and not issues of, you know, certificate or no certificate. That shouldn't be an issue at this time. What we should be talking about is what do we do to support this government to lead us to a destination of choice.
All right. So the Federal Character Commission, where you are a commissioner, has the mandate to ensure fairness and equity in the distribution of post and social economic activities. Talking about fairness and equity, how will you rate the Tinubu administration in the past 4 months?
Well, talking about fairness and justice, is it not too early to begin to judge that? We just set up administration. It's not even complete. We don't have the board members yet. We don't have the board chairman yet. We don't have agencies all occupied yet. I mean, it's too early. We still have lots of positions. When that is done, of course, like I said in the beginning, that we continue to remind our president subtly that this is going to remain an indivisible nation. And for that to happen, we need to balance a bit. And so we can, you know, we can attract the people and command national loyalty. So for Federal Character Commission, even though right now I'm always made bold to say that is not what it's supposed to be. However it is, I always believe that every area can still be covered and there will be peace and we command national loyalty for the country. Right. But for me, I think we haven't gotten to that stage yet when we can say, right, oh, things are not going right. We should take some time. We have agencies coming, we have board members, we have board chairmen. So we should only continue to speak in peace and unity and keep reminding the president he knows.
Let's try to take 1 more minute to discuss what is expected from Nigerians. Mr. President has now addressed the nation about 4 or 5 times since inauguration, and the message has been one that before the gains, you know, comes the pain. But how long more can Nigerians hold on and stand by this government with its policies?
Well, I've always said before the gain comes the pain. There's no gain without pain. Like everything you see now, there's no way you expect a situation that is in a very bad condition to be remedied within a second. Like I remember at the Economical Center, our mother, the mother of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Bola Tinubu, said something. She said, my husband is not a magician. People could take it in their own way. That's their business. But for me, what that statement is saying is, he is here to fix the situation. He is in a position to solve the problem. But it's not just going to come like that. All of us, everybody should be ready to play their part, you know, to play their part to bring back this. Like I used to tell everybody, we keep complaining. You can't sell, you can't bring a great dream for the country come to fruition looking like a nightmare. No. You have to first of all accept that yes,
All
there's a situation, and you want to be a part of solution. It's not just the president. So if we continue to allow issues such like what we have going on with maybe Atiku Abubakar issue, going on and we're not saying anything, no, it can't work. Right now, Nigeria can't go back to anything but to look forward. And the only way we can look forward is to say, yes, we can try, at least trust the judiciary, but rather support this government that is saddled with the responsibility of a decayed situation to remedy it.
I'm afraid that's our time.
For remedy.
Honorable Commissioner representing Enugu State at the Federal Character Commission, Professor Ginika Tor, thank you for sharing your thoughts with us on the program this evening.